I'm just making sure we are going live here. Let me check all the channels, make sure we can get you here. Give me 1 second. If you're signing into the Facebook page, you can go to Think Like an Executive. If you're looking into the YouTube channel, please go to Team Galardi, and that will get you there. Okay. We are live on Facebook. I will tell you that. Let's pop this open so we can make sure that we've got everything going here. I want to make sure that we can also make this able for you guys to jump in and check out. So bear with me 1 second. I will copy the link for everybody. Oops. And we will repost this everywhere to make sure you all know what's going on. So we're going to start here in just a few minutes. We are live on YouTube. Should be live on LinkedIn as well. Live on Facebook. Sorry, just trying to get the live stream going here. Make sure everybody's here. If you guys are actually in watching it, make sure you hit the chat. So this is great. The system I'm using right now is going to Facebook and to YouTube. So that's where we're streaming. Facebook just got the post. That's great. YouTube looks like it's a little bit of a delay there. It's very interesting. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can comment on the YouTube channel. That's fine. I will see it as well. Bear with me, guys, 1 second. It's 2:01, so we will get started here momentarily. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone's had a very successful weekend. Yeah, okay. We're live. Just let me know if you have some chat. I should be able to see it. And if you are here, please kind of chime in so I know that we can get this thing started. I'm looking for people. I want to make sure that yep, stream's working. Well, for some reason, if you guys aren't able to see the stream, go ahead and shoot me a text, give me a call, put it up on YouTube, Facebook, and I'll see it. So we're going to get this going. I'm going to get this started. And sorry, 1 second. It's not showing the chat online. So let's quality, more video settings. Let's just see, make sure I can get you guys. Nope, everything should be working. Okay. We just got some late comers, I think, is all. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. What do you say? I got a lot of things here today. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 moment. There we go. All right, let's go with the intro. All right, everybody, that's the Think Like an Executive intro. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have a chat section on YouTube and Facebook right now. So if you guys utilize that and you want to raise your hand, ask a question, whatever, please go to Facebook at Think Like an Executive under the Events tab. You can click right there for the free Scripts, Objections, and Rebuttals class, which is what you're in right now. So I'm very, very excited to be announcing that we are officially sponsored We do a lot of podcasting. We do a lot of YouTube videos, as you can tell, a lot of streaming. So we are now sponsored by Restream.io. And I want to thank our sponsor right there. Look at these graphics. The graphics are great, right? So right down here, I believe. Yep, right there. Okay. So thank you to our sponsor at Restream.io. Restream.io is so amazing. You can actually broadcast to 30 different locations at the same time. You could be on LinkedIn, you could be on Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, Facebook groups, Facebook personal profile, and the list goes on and on and on, guys. Restream, I've been using them for a couple of years now, and they are just absolutely amazing at what they do. The whole thing that you're seeing down here is all through Restream. I can customize it any way that I want to customize it. It is great. And if you guys go to that link down below, right there at Restream.io /join, you can get $10 off of the Pro plan, which is what I'm using right now. So fortunately for me, I'm sponsored. So I'm giving you a gift of a referral right there of $10, which helps out. They have the free program, which is great for probably most of you. I think the next one up is 20, and the next one's up, which is the Pro plan, this one for 50. The free plan does not get you the captions like you see down here. So if you want that, you'll have to just upgrade. So thank you again to Restream.io. Now, welcome to Think Like an Executive again. This is my coaching platform, my real estate coaching platform. And, the first question I get is, well, what makes you so great as a coach? No, I'm just kidding. I don't get that question. How dare you ask me that question? No, listen, I've been in real estate for 20 years now in and around Los Angeles. I have managed some of the top brokerages in Los Angeles, the agency. I've also run the regional managing director for Nest Seekers. I was on the ALC for Keller Williams Beverly Hills. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I've mentored 9 people when I was at KW. I've basically recruited over 100 people at Nest Seekers. And again, my list of, I think, accomplishments is pretty big. So that's what certifies me as a coach, damn it. Right? So, plus, not to mention, I have closed a tremendous amount of deals. So I'm not a coach that just took some course, online course, whatever, and got a certificate or something like that. I've actually been in the trenches with you guys. I'm still in the trenches with you. I work for Sync Brokerage now as their director of estates, and I couldn't be more thrilled to be there. It's a great, great brokerage, and not that I'm discounting any other brokerage. I'm just saying that I'm very happy to hang my license at Sync Brokerage, and I'm still an active realtor in today's market. Referrals and past clientele is what I specialize in right now. But Think Like an Executive, it's really just about taking a mirror and holding it to your face and just asking you, are you ready for the kind of business that you say that you want to have? Now, a lot of people say, I want to do $1 million. I want to, make $1 million, whatever. Listen, it's going to be a long road before you make $1 million. We've got to get you there. We've got to ramp you up. And that's what the Think Like an Executive coaching platform is about. Let's just talk about the scripts, objections, rebuttals, what we're in today. I mean, this is a $25 class. That's it, guys. If you're a new agent, and I'm talking like under 5 years, I'd say, you need coaching. Bottom line, spend the $25 and go to the scripts, objections, rebuttals class. That is the foundation of real estate. I can't emphasize enough how important this class is for realtors. Not only that, but let me go back to my captions here. So we have the scripts, objections, rebuttals class every Monday at 2 p.m. Every single Monday, rain or shine. Nobody shows up, I'm still doing them. All right. So we generally do those on Zoom, which is great because then I send you the audio and the video recordings afterwards. I keep them active for 30 days. I don't share them on the Team Galardi website on YouTube. So they are just for you because you're a paid subscriber to those classes. And you can take one class or you can take all 4 a month. It is entirely up to you. But for $100 a month or $25 a session, whatever you want to do, you've now got scripts, objections, rebuttals. It's a 1-hour class. I mean, that's so cheap. Like, I'm giving it away, guys. Today I'm giving it away. You're in the free scripts, objections, rebuttals class. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the other one that I have, which is the 30-day agent bootcamp right down here for $97 a month. $97. I'm telling you, this is so reasonably priced. I can't believe that my schedule is filled every single moment of the day with you guys. I understand the mindset right now is we're in the pandemic. We're about to go into the second wave of closing and stuff. Your head's not in the game right now. This is absolutely the time that you need to have your head in the game. Because I'm telling you, don't be like the 88% of the agents out there that are thinking the way that you're thinking right now. You need to be like the other 12% and that's going out and killing it. And coaching is the way to do it. It's glorified accountability sessions. I'm telling you, that's the mindset. You don't realize it. You don't understand it. Every single week, I have what I call sessions. So we have sessions and a game plan, and I roadmap things for you. And every week, we're building on what we did the last week before that, or every other session that we do. We're building on the last session. I give you small and achievable goals, and I'm telling you that in 6 months, you will see these magnificent results. And forget 6 months, because I know that most people can't even commit to next week. Here's the thing. I will tell you that from experience, I have had agents go on listing appointments within 3 weeks of getting into my coaching. 3 weeks. I have roadmapped everything for you guys in my coaching platform. And for $97 a month, you can get 2 scripts, objections, and rebuttals class. And you can get 2 personal coaching, one-on-one coachings with me, Coach Galardi, the head coach and president of Think Like an Executive. So you got to do the 30-day boot camp. You got to get into it. It starts every single week on Monday. And we can set up your times for your personal one-on-one coaching, but they are an hour long. I am working for $25 an hour for you guys. Can you believe that? I'm giving it away. Oh my gosh. So again, thank you to our sponsor for Restream.io for this beautiful, beautiful presentation today. I know that the background setting's a little different than you're normally seeing me in, but you know, you're in the game room. What can I say? All right. What do we got? Scripts, objections, rebuttals. We've covered that. $25 a session. You can't beat it. And let's just get right into this here. You know, I'm big on scripts. So I want to emphasize, number one, the most important script out there is, sorry, I want to make sure that everybody's, hold on. We have some problem with, oh my gosh, search YouTube for Team Galardi. Sorry guys, give it 1 second here. I think that people are having some hard times finding this. So we're going to make sure sorry, bear with me here. Again, it's a new system, trying to make sure that we have everything working, firing all cylinders. And I'm sorry that you are the guinea pigs, if you will. We are sharing this everywhere. Let me see here. We are copying this link. We'll go this way. 1 second, guys. I apologize. Let me see here. All right, we'll give this 1 more second here. It should be working. If you're not seeing it, or if you are seeing it, please, please, please chime in the chat there and let me know that you are seeing this, because we're going to get right into it. All right. So again, the scripts, objections, rebuttals. This is the foundation of real estate, everybody. I'm telling you the number, you've got to master scripts, objections, rebuttals before you do anything else, before you even write a contract. If you don't know how to talk to people and overcome objections with rebuttals, what's it matter how great you are at writing contracts? It doesn't matter. You've got to master the scripts, objections, rebuttals. And I'm telling you, this is a daily, weekly, monthly process, because you're going to hear objections. Listen, we're hearing the COVID-19 objections like, we never thought we'd hear this before. So you have to master these scripts. And your rebuttals, just so you know, are scripts, essentially. So I'm just checking, make sure we got everybody here. So your rebuttals are our scripts for their objections. Does that make sense to you? So the number one thing that I think people should master in their scripts, basically, is when somebody says you're at a dinner party, you're out at a nightclub, whatever it is, you're talking to somebody, you're having a conversation, they go, so what do you do? That's such a great opening right there. That's such a great way to let people know that you're an authority, you're an educator, you are the top realtor in and around Los Angeles County. So you've got to master your brand, your script, your 30-second elevator pitch really before you move on to anything else. I'll tell you another one that I get also that I can't believe people don't have mastered and don't quite comprehend or understand is when you work for sometimes smaller brokerages. This gets encountered a lot with smaller brokerages, and they say, oh, I've never heard of your brand. The ABC Realty Company, I've never heard of it. I can't tell you how many agents. Well, first of all, let's just use Nest Seekers as an example. I worked there and I had 73 agents, and we had one location on the West Coast. It was a big East Coast company, but only one location on the West Coast. If you can't sell me on who Nest Seekers is or ABC Realty or whatever the brand you work for is, how are you even going to get your foot in the door? So that's the second one you should master is not only should you master who are you, what's your brand, you as a person, you as an agent, but what is the brand, the company that you work for? Those two are so important. They're going to get your foot in the door and move towards getting more business for you guys. So listen, I have put these together right here, and if you're in the chat, please let me hear you on YouTube or Facebook. They should be coming live to me right now, and I should be seeing these. So if you are there, please make sure you hit me up on the chat. So we're going to go into question number 1 here, which is a seller objection. And I've got it right down here for you. Hopefully you can see that. I don't want to list my home because I don't want people in my home. Fair, right? Completely fair. I get it. I mean, this is not the answer portion of it. This is just the question that you're going to get the objection. I don't want people in my home. I don't want people touching stuff. This, to me, obviously is being so important right now, but this is a way that you can showcase you, your brand, and your company to the next level. I mean, if you come through with compassion on this, empathy about this, and you come through with conviction about how dedicated you are to someone's safety and their well-being, and not only theirs, but yours as well, and how you respect the time that we're in and stuff, man, you're going to get your foot even much further in that door. So this is kind of what I've written down as far as my answer would be. And again, I think that you should really emphasize your brokerage first and foremost. You really should be talking about, when they say, I don't want people in my house, you say, you know what, my ABC Realty Company was really at the forefront of COVID-19. They took precautions even before NAR, National Association of Realtors, even before NAR made them a mandate and said, hey, you can only do showings every 15 minutes. Hey, you can only do this. I mean, we have disinfectant bottles in our office. We have sanitizing wipes. We have hand sanitizer. We have gloves. We have booties. We have face masks, everything. And our brokerage was on the forefront of this and made it a mandatory thing that every showing that we do, every open house, every virtual open house, we have all of those things for you. We care about your safety and our client's safety beyond, what National Association of Realtors actually says that we have to do. They say we can do showings every 15 minutes. I personally schedule them every 30 minutes. That's how much I want to make sure your home is kind of sanitized and let the air and let the home breathe. When I'm doing a showing, number one, everybody's got to have the standard form called a PEAD form. Basically, they understand the risk of coming into your home. They're also acknowledging that they don't have coronavirus. So that's number one. That's just a mandate. Everybody's got to have that. Number two, anybody that comes into your home is going to have, like I said, a mask, gloves, and booties. Okay, and hopefully they're not sick. And anybody that's coming into your house is signing that PEAD form, and we're protecting you that way. I'm going to request that even with gloves on, they don't touch anything, right? Just walk on the carpet, walk on the tile, whatever it is, the hardwood floors, don't touch anything. You want something open? I'll touch it. So when we're done, and then what I do is I open up all the windows and doors and stuff like that, let a nice breeze come through the house and everything. And so what I really do is when I'm done with the showing, and again, I only do showings every 30 minutes, I actually go through and I wipe down anything that they might have touched on accident, or they might have, we don't let people use the restroom, nothing like that. So, we go through, we clean up everything, and then we do the next showing. Secondly, what I do to protect you is, the days of the looky-loos and the open houses, they're done. We don't do those anymore. Like, if someone's going to see your property, here's a great thing that I do. I vet them like you wouldn't believe. I mean, almost to the point where I'm asking for proof of funds before they even see it. I mean, it's not that extreme, but it's a little bit of an extreme tactic that I take. I call their lender. So I want to see their pre-approval letter that they have provided within the last 30 days. If it's a pre-approval letter from 6 months ago, sorry, out the window, can't see the property. Now, I'm not trying to not sell your property, but I'm trying to make sure that I only bring in the best and most well-qualified people to see your home, because right now the interest rates are really driving these multiple offers, as we've discussed earlier, and they're driving the multiple offers, but I want to make sure that somebody is ready, willing, and able to buy and write an offer upon seeing your home. I don't want people to waste your time, potentially get you sick, potentially, create a contaminated area in your house. So I'm going to call that lender. I'm going to vet them. I'm going to see how well qualified they've been. I'm going to see how long they've been on the job. I'm going to ask as many questions as that lender will let me ask, and give me the information so we can make a great decision about allowing that person into your home. The days of someone just popping by or coming into an open house, they're done. We now do virtual open houses, and that's the great thing with the cell phone, is that we can go around and say, hey, we're open today, and show it on YouTube. And I mean, social media is just bigger than ever now. YouTube is bigger than ever. Does anybody have any questions in the chat about that? So basically, if somebody's, all right, Jale's here. Jonathan, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am seeing the chat now. That's great. All of you guys are on Facebook. Thank you so much. Did you guys have any questions about that objection, first of all? An objection of, I don't want to let people in my house for contamination reasons or security reasons, for COVID-19. I think you have to address their fears, completely state that they're valuable, and you understand and you empathize with the situation. The market's never been hotter. I mean, we're seeing multiple offers and way above asking prices. So this is a great time to capitalize on the market. And you want to say how your brokerage has really been on the forefront of creating, hi, Twinkle, thanks for chiming in, creating a safe environment. We have booties, we have masks, we have disinfectants. We're only doing showings every half an hour. And most importantly, over everything, we are vetting the buyers and the people that want to preview your property to make sure that they are well qualified. Great, right? I mean, I would be like, okay, that sounds great. You're not doing showings very frequently. You're going to keep the house open to let it breathe and stuff. Any questions on that? I think that's a great, great start right there. All right, here's one of my favorite ones, because you guys know that I love, love, love numbers. So we're going to go with a buyer objection here. So they want to wait for the market to crash. I mean, how many people, show of hands, show a chat, whatever, have heard this? The market's going to crash. The market's going to crash, right? Oh, I can't wait. Sorry, I get thirsty doing this. Yeah, the market's going to crash. No, it's not. That's my personal opinion. It is not going to crash. So what would you guys say? Think about it in your head right now. This is your script. This is your rebuttal, and it needs to be in a script form of what would you say to somebody that's going to say that the market's going to crash and they're going to wait to buy at that point? Well, listen, number one, I love numbers, and I keep talking about the numbers and stuff. This is not a 2007, 2008 market crash. I mean, that was fueled by bad subprime loans of people buying more property at 100% financing of properties they couldn't afford. I mean, it was CISA. It was stated income, stated asset loans. I mean, there was actually a loan, believe it or not, that was called Ninja. No income, no job, no assets. I mean, you got a little bit higher interest rate, but they had a Ninja loan. So you wonder why we had a 2007, 2008 market crash. because of loans like that. I mean, basically, somebody just had to sign a piece of paper and say, great, I just bought a house. 100% financing. I mean, do you really think that this market that we're in right now is anything close to 2007 to 2008? Now, this is my script, my rebuttal to this buyer that says they're going to wait for the market to crash. The answer is no, absolutely not. It's going to be a 2007, 2008. Now, if I were you, and I don't want you to be combative and I don't want you to challenge people, but just point blank ask them, how much do you think of a discount that you're going to get in today's market or in 2021 when the market crashes? And then let them respond, or even suggest something. 5%, 10%, 15%. I mean, how much of a crash do you think? What do you consider a crash? Because, as we all know, when we're doing inspections, is this a small hole, a medium hole, or a large hole? It's all relative to what you think a crash is or the size of that hole. So ask them, what do you think is a crash? What is a great number, a great discount for you to get a property? So I've just run some numbers here. Now, let me ask you, on $1 million loan, let me just tell you, on $1 million loan, your mortgage is going to be about $5,000 a month at a 4.5% interest rate. Okay? $1 million loan, $5,000 a month at a 4.5% interest rate. Now, let's just back this up, okay? 2021, rates are going to go up. I mean, they can't stay this low forever. Just can't. We are in a perfect storm right now for buyers, and we'll go to that question, how's the market? We've got that question coming up in a little bit. But for buyers, interest rates are incredibly low. And I tell the story a lot. When my wife and I bought our condo in Long Beach, we got a 6% 5-year fixed rate. 6% 5-year fixed rate. Interest only. We thought we nailed it, hit it out of the park. Now you're talking 3%. That's half the price that we were paying in 2004. It's just insane. So you're paying $5,000 a month for $1 million mortgage at a 4.5% interest rate. Do you know how much you're paying if you get a 3% interest rate on that same $1 million? $4,200. $4,200 a month. I have just shown you, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer, how I can save you $800 a month, or $9,600 a year, or over 360 months at that 4.5% rate down to that 3% rate over 360 months, which is a 30-year loan. I have just saved you $288,000. Now you tell me what buyer is going to get to come back at you with an objection to that. I just saved you $288,000. So you told me your market crash scenario is 20%. I just saved you 28 to almost 29% over the life of the loan. I beat your crash theory. How is that? Use those analogies. Let me just tell you real quick. $1 million loan at 4.5% rate is $5,000 a month, give or take. It's about $5,000 a month. $1 million loan at 3% is going to run you $4,200 a month. I've saved you $800 a month, $9,600 a year, almost $10,000 a year, man. That's a lot of money. That's your taxes, basically. Or over the life of the loan, I've saved you $288,000. Huge, mind blown, right? I mean, if you break it down into something small and fractional like that, you will get a win out of this. I promise you'll get a win. Not only that, so again, you're saving them 28.8% of the life of the loan. Now let's look at this. If I got you a 3% interest rate right now, and you still want to pay the $5,000 a month, and let's just say you're comfortable paying that, at 3% interest rate versus the 4.5% at $5,000, I've now been able to give you $200,000 more in purchasing power. So let's think about this. You can now buy a $1.2 million home at 3% interest rate. It's a $200,000 better home. I mean, it's got to be bigger, probably has a pool, probably has a view. For $200K in this town, that gets you a lot from the $1 million to $1.2 million range. That puts you in a whole different neighborhood now. Let me negotiate a deal. That's the other way you can spin this too. But now with the 3% interest rate, I've just given you $200,000 of more purchasing power than you had at 4.5% interest rate, which is probably where rates are going to be next year. Wow. I mean, I don't know how you could. I don't know how you can give me an objection to that. I mean, don't you think it's a good time to buy now? Look at all the reasons I just gave you. Another objection or another rebuttal I always have to this is, let me ask you, with the low interest rate, you're paying more principal to your home and you're paying down the loan faster. You could literally send in a check every single month for $800, that difference that you're saving, and say, please apply towards principal only. Now, all of a sudden, your principal loan balance is getting knocked down every single month, greater and greater and greater, and you're building that equity even more every single month. Now, the reality is they're not going to pay $800 a month. They're probably going to save it and go buy a new car or something like that. Not your business, all right? But you're showcasing and you're showing them a way. What if rates went back to 6%? What would the payments be? So you bought a house for $900,000, but you're paying 6% interest rate? Let me get you a deal on the house, number one. Let me get you a great interest rate, number two. Let me put some money in your pocket, number three. I mean, I virtually have shown you a way that I'm paying for your taxes because of this low interest rate. Or you can go buy a bigger, better home. Oh, man. What do you guys think? Let's hear it in the chat down there. Let's hear it in the comments. You guys like those answers so far? I like them. Thank you so much. All right. The other one that I always, love, and I think people really, really struggle with this one here is, how's the market? So, let's just, what's the standard answer? It's great, right? Market's great. Yeah, that's a great answer. That's what every agent is going to give. So let's see how we can be different. Let's see how we can stand out in this scenario. So yeah, the market's great, but I think, what we have right now, I know what we have right now is what I call a dual market. So basically you've got the best of both worlds. You got the buyer side and you got the seller side. Now on the seller side right now, if again, I always use this analogy, go out to your street, go out to your curb, look left, look right. Do you see a for sale sign on your street? The answer is probably no. If you don't see a for sale sign, it's a brilliant time to sell because you have zero competition. So what's going to happen? You have zero competition in your neighborhood for the most part, as far as you can see. Buyers who want to move in that area are going to jump on the opportunity to buy your property. We've created a demand here. Now, is it better to have one for sale sign on a street or 50? So, because then I have my picking and choosing, basically. I can just go up and down the street and go, no, 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 yes, yes, make offers on all 50 of them and just lowball them. Is that where you want to be? Is that the trouble that you want to be in? Absolutely not. We are delivering multiple offers in this scenario right now. So the dual market situation is the buyers are fueling the multiple offers right now because of the low interest rates. It's like the perfect storm that we have, and it can't last long. How long do you think low interest rates are going to happen? I've just given somebody and shown somebody the opportunity to buy $1 million home at 3%, which is actually going to be $1.2 million. At 4.5%, it's going to cost you. You can only buy $1 million house. The buying power is extended right now because of the low interest rates. I can afford more home. If I was at $600,000 before, I might be at $700,000 or $750,000 now with the low interest rates, and it takes me from a condo to a single family residence. That's what's driving the market, and that's the dual market sense. We have zero supply. We have incredible demand. It could turn on an instant, though. What's going to happen at the turn of the year or when we come out of coronavirus, COVID-19? Don't you think everybody's going to say, oh my God, I got to sell. I can't believe we just went through this. People are still in panic mode because we're going through our second shutdown now. We don't know when we're going to get out of this. But I'm telling you, my wife and I personally, we think about this every single day. Should we sell? Should we sell? Should we sell? I think you also have to look at it, and this is another thing that I can do for you, is I can provide you with a seller net sheet. I use LCD Escrow. LCD Escrow is great because they provide me a seller net sheet. If you have $1 million sale on your home and you owe $500,000, they will include all the fees right there. They will show and break it down for you, and I will show you how much you're going to walk away with. That's what LCD Escrow does, or whoever your escrow company is, and they do it great. So we're going to get you a seller net sheet, and you're going to see exactly what you're going to walk with. Now imagine if you go back to that scenario of you think the market's going to drop 10%. 15%, 20%. What if that absolutely happens? You have $1 million home that dropped 10%. Now you have a $900,000 home. You just lost $100,000 equity, and I'm telling you, it's going to flip on like that. There's a great saying that says, if your shoe shinesman tells you about a stock, it's too late. Okay? Think about that. By the time he hears about it, it's too late. All right. The stock's already gone through the roof or it's already tanked. So don't hear the news from your shoe shinesman. I'm telling you now that you need to jump on today's market. Guys, what do you have for me? I think we've nailed a good couple of scripts, objections, and some rebuttals right there. So in the chat, what do you have for me? What are you guys hearing? What are you hearing in today's market? We're over on the YouTube channel. Hey, Winston Nelson, Sync Brokerage, got everybody over on YouTube. Not sure why I'm not seeing you on the chat right here, though. So I apologize, and that's why I have YouTube open over here. Oh, you guys are welcome. Winston Nelson team in the house. Thank you so much. So what objections are you guys hearing in today's market that we can talk about? Give me a tough one. I don't need softballs. What do you got? What do you got? Interest rates we've covered. I love my analogy of the $5,000 a month on $1 million home. Oh, here's one I just encountered actually over the weekend. So listen, I think it's okay to turn down business, right? I'm about closing deals, selling properties, not listing properties. 92% of my clients have all been listings and all been sellers, whatever, but I've closed 100% of them, or maybe 98% of them. I think one I didn't close because I put it for lease and for sale, but that was 15 years ago. My point being is I had a client this weekend that said, well, I know how much I want for my property. Okay, great. I want $850. You have a first floor condo in Burbank. I mean, are you on a mountain? Like, are the views incredible? I mean, do you have dolphins in your bathroom? Like, what? I'm not seeing it. Give me some reasons here. So, I mean, I like to joke with my clients and I like to break that ice and not always be about, I like to take the sales out of salesperson. But, I also had to go through and educate her about the dollars and the sense of it. And the reality is I'm not going to list a property for $850 just so I can have a listing when it's worth $710. I mean, if we were even relatively close, and I told her, I said, look, I'll list it for $750 because I think that's where the value is going to be. There's nothing really for sale that's as nice as hers right now, but I don't think we're going to get a 12.5%, 13% above asking offer to bring her to $850. And she has made, and I take it back, she thought it was worth between $850 and $900. So the objection was, I want $850 to $900 for my condo, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Okay, I mean, this is not WeHo. I mean, this is Burbank, like downtown Burbank, first floor, on a busy street. You see what I'm getting at? So, what I do is I just educate my client and I put the comps, the comparables right in front of them, and I say, you tell me what value you're seeing. And when they look at the comps and it's 710, 695, 600, they start to realize that this idea of wanting $850 to $900 is just never going to happen. And frankly, I'm not here to waste my time. So I will just back out of a deal. And I will just say, listen, I don't think it's the right time for you to sell. I think that you're going to go down before you go up. So, if you're interested in selling now, I would go to $750 and I think we can bring multiple offers. I don't know if I can get you an 8 in front of the number, but, and I'm more than happy to give you a seller net sheet and I go through all of that. But what I will do is I will continually follow up with her about once a week. She's got other properties. And so I'll just say, shoot her a little email. Hey, just thinking of you. Want to check in. Keep that rapport going with them because you never know when they'll come back down to reality. So taking an overpriced listing might be great for your business card, if you will, but I would rather have a higher closing percentage, meaning I've closed all of the listings I've sold versus I closed 50% of my listings. There's a lot of agents that don't talk about their stats, number one, because they don't know them, but number two, because they're probably embarrassed to say they only close about 60% of the properties they list. So that's not the stat that I want, guys. So that's not what I'm about. We've got, all right, we got a question from Facebook. My house is worth $2 million. I don't want to pay capital gains taxes. What do I do with the money since the stock market is down? You sell. We're going to roll that into another transaction. Guys, you have to be problem solvers. Great question, John. You have to be problem solvers. You have to, the one thing I'm very, very good at, I mean, I will be braggadocious about this, is creating angles for people. And that's where a lot of realtors, they just go like this. They see the one transaction in front of them and they get tunnel vision. And they don't look around left, right, up, down, over, under, nothing like that. That's where I excel. And that's where I bring value to you guys with Think Like an Executive. You have to think about the examples. You won't pay 1031 capital gains tax, or you won't pay capital gains tax because we're going to do a 1031 exchange for you. Now I'm going to make your money make even more money. There's a certain point. Listen, I got an 1,160 square foot house. Will this house ever be $1,000 a square foot? Probably not in my lifetime. So I'm going to hit a ceiling at some point on this property. And I think my ceiling's yikes. My ceiling's probably going to be about 850 grand, I hope. So that's my exit strategy. You need to roadmap, because this is a business that you're running right here. And that's a lot of realtors don't understand that they have a business. You need to run your business like a business. Roadmap this for him. Take that $2 million. Let's say it's all cash. They owe nothing on the property. You got $2 million. Let's go buy you an apartment building now. You can go be the property manager for them. Let's go hire a property manager. Show them the numbers. This is what I used to do for clients. I would bring not only, let me put this down here real quick before that falls. I would bring them everything about a property that I would want them to buy. So I would go to that. People want to touch stuff. People want to feel stuff. They want to look at stuff. So I would bring over 1 or 2 properties and I would say, listen, Bob, here's what you're going to do. We're going to sell your property. So now I'm taking ownership that we're going to sell your property. We're a team here, but I'm basically the listing agent. We're going to sell your property, and then we're going to go buy this property right here, one of these 2. Now, here's why I like option A. Option A is going to make you about $25,000 a month. Now, here's why I love option B. It's going to make you only about $20,000 a month, but it's a better location, and I think that your rents are going to be more stabilized and more consistent with option B. Now, look at this bottom line number here. Now, what I'm doing is again, I know you guys have heard me say this, the car dealership analogy. When you get done test driving a car, what does the sales guy do? Hey, come on, let's go. And they try and get you inside the box there so they can make a deal. That's what you're doing here. You're taking your client by the hand and you're showing them what they just don't know what to do with the money. So let's put you in a 1031 exchange. I've got an accommodator already lined up for you. We're going to sell this property over here. We're going to put that in the 1031 exchange. We're going to identify a property, and then we're going to buy one of these 2 potentially. And I'm going to send you some other ones if you don't like these 2. But I'm telling you, option B, better area, lower on the monthly net income, but this is a better play for you long term. If you want something short term, we're going to go with this one. We're going to do a 3 to 5 year plan on it. We're going to either refi, pull some cash out, and go buy another investment property. We're going to unload it, and we're going to buy, instead of buying a 12-unit apartment building, we're going to buy a 50-unit apartment building. How does that sound? Now all of a sudden you need a property management company or me to run your program. So that's what I would do, Jale, with that one, and just roadmap it for them. Show them what they're going to do with the money, because that's the reality of it is they don't know what to do with the money. That's where you come in. You're the business expert. Lots of COVID questions. Yes. Thank you, Sync Brokerage. Greatly appreciate it. I'm waiting for the elections before I list. Listen, I am not a political guy, so thank you for that. I'm not a political guy. I only read headlines, so I know it sounds insane, but I don't go down that road. I don't talk politics with my clients, but I can just tell you that there's going to be 50% of the people that are upset come election time. So it's either this half or it's that half. So let me just ask you, and you don't have to answer, but if option A wins, how are you going to feel about that? If option B wins, how are you going to feel about that? We know what we're going to get with option A. Just call it Trump. We know where he's headed, how he feels about real estate and all that stuff. What does option B feel? Is option B going to be better or worse? And hey, let's not forget about option C, whoever that might be. So again, I'm not into politics, but do you think option A is still going, if option A, let's call him Trump, is going to win. You know how he feels about real estate. You know how he feels about taxes, everything. We've seen a 4-year history with him. Whether you like him or not, it's the reality of what we're in right now. He is our president. End of story. Option B, how do they feel about real estate? How do they feel about taxes? What do you think that's going to do to the global economy, to relations with China and North Korea and pick wherever? And then second, how is even forget half. Let's talk about our state. How is our state? Go even more local. How's Los Angeles going to feel about option B or C winning? How do you think that's going to affect the real estate market? How does that sound, Winston? So I think that for me, I have something that is a known asset right now, and I have knowledge of today's market we're in. I can't predict the future. I can't predict of what option A, B, or C is going to do to the real estate market. I can tell you that before COVID hit, we had, unbelievably low unemployment. We had stock market at an all-time high. So let's say we revert back to those times. Is it going to be before November? Is it going to be after November? I don't know. So I think that I personally would take advantage of what we have right now because we know we have knowledge of what we have right now. Okay, I think I covered that one. What else you guys got? The elections, lots of, I'm afraid of getting laid off. Yeah, that's a, listen, I think that number one, you have to dig in a little bit deeper and ask them what kind of work they do. 60% of the people in Los Angeles are quote unquote self-employed. So is this person's job a type of job that's easily replaced for the amount of income that they have? Now, if you're talking to a $4 million buyer and their potential of getting laid off, I've got to think that type of person, probably very well educated, probably very seasoned in their business, probably even a business owner at that point, would be able to rebound pretty quickly. And somebody's buying a $4 million property, I would think that they have probably stocks, 401ks, options, a portfolio. They probably own more than one property. So I don't know how bad the outlook would be for somebody in that financial standpoint. Somebody that's probably sub $1 million. Yeah, there might be a little bit of a, listen, it's probably easier to replace a low six-figure income job or a $775,000 a year job than it is a $400,000 a year job. So, if you're a $400,000 a year job, and I've got to assume, though, that they've got stocks, they've got money, they've got reserves. They're probably coming in with 20% down, so they're going to have equity in their property. So you could hedge that bet that if you did lose your job, number one, you could go into the forbearance program for up to a year. So you'd be protected that way. If you're putting 20% down and the market keeps climbing and escalating in equity, you're going to be safe. You could unload your property. You'd give them a discount on the listing side if that ever happened. Knock on wood, it won't happen. So I think that, let me see here. I think that probably should cover it. You got to find out what they do for work and see how easily replaceable that job is. If I sell my house at a higher price, wow, Winston is killing it today. I love it. Thank you, sir. If I sell my house at a higher price, how can I buy? Prices for purchase or leases are through the roof. So yeah, but see, that's where my 20 years of experience comes in. Now you've got to talk about your brand. You've got to talk about you as the realtor and your business. So I understand we're going to capitalize on today's high market, but there's also people out there that are in a dire situation that the forbearances that we were just talking about, 30 days, 60 days, 90, 180. I mean, when is it going to stop? If we don't know when we're going to be out of coronavirus, people don't have jobs because, again, 60% of the people in LA are self-employed. People are going to have to start unloading properties. And so, I hate to be like this, but again, talking about the angles. If there's a property that you see that you like, I'm going to go pull a title report. I'm going to try and find out what the mortgage loan balance is, and I'm going to be able to structure our offer in that scenario. We'll be able to see if they're in a forbearance program. It'll probably be updated on title. So we have avenues, and that's where my negotiating tactics and skills come in, is that I have the ability with a strong, qualified buyer like you who's got cash and reserves. we can go into a property right now and we can make a very aggressive offer we can offset it by quick close, low to no contingencies. We can do certain things to incentivize people to get out of their forbearances, to put some cash in their pocket, and to move out and to move on. So we can get you a deal on that end and that aspect of things. And the reality is, even if you have to pay a little bit more for a property and we can only get you 5% off, 8% off, something like that, you got these great low interest rates, which you don't have on your house right now. Your house is a 4.5% or 5% rate, you've already told me, and I can get you a 3% rate or around 3% or even sub 3%. Call my lender, let's talk there and see what we can actually get you. And secondly, I would take that client, depending on how much equity that they have and they're going to cash out. Let's go buy you that duplex you've been looking at. Let's go buy you an investment property, an Airbnb in Palm Desert, or save your money, because the secondary housing market is going to be the first one to come down big time. So I think, places like Lake Tahoe, Arrowhead, Big Bear, Palm Springs, Palm Desert, those are the places next year to get deals in, not LA. All right. What else do you guys have for me? We have covered a lot of information. I am so happy that you guys are here and doing this with me today. I wanted to offer you guys this opportunity for the free scripts, Objections and Rebuttals by Think Like an Executive today. Again, I want to thank the sponsor, Restream.io. If you're looking for a platform like this, which everybody should be streaming right now. I mean, this is going to be the best way to keep in contact with your clients is through Restream.io. And if you need a discount code, I'll give you a discount code right there. This is some of the stuff right here that you guys can utilize with the Restream Pro. It's incredible. What else you guys got for me? Let's do one more question. I'm just getting warmed up. So one more question. Clara, you got anything? Twinkle, you got anything? Jolly, you got anything? Jonathan, how about you, buddy? Would love to hear your questions. Trying to think if I have anything else for you. I really like the idea of road mapping things for clients, showcasing and showing them how you can help them make more money. That's just such a great way and a great thing that a lot of agents just don't do. And they just look at that and then concentrate on that one transaction in front of them. And I'm telling you, if you're getting a listing from somebody, the first thing I would be asking them is, so what else do you own? I mean, seriously, agents don't ask that question. What a great question to ask, because if they own one property, they probably own another second home or something like that. I got a friend who owns a house in Mammoth Mountain. Are you telling me he's not thinking about selling that property? Sure, I may not live in Mammoth Mountain, but I'll definitely partner up with somebody and co-list that at 50-50. Absolutely. So you need to ask your clients, so what else do you own? Simple. And just remember, everything is no problem. No matter how bad the transaction gets, no matter how sideways things go, your standard answer needs to be no problem. And I'm telling you, I'm going to show you ways that everything in this transaction and in this business is no problem. When you have answers like that for your clients, I'm telling you, you will next level yourself. Next level yourself. What else we got? We got, here's a good one. We'll get one more in here. Let me see here. I can sell my own home. The process, it's simple. I don't have to pay a commission to lazy agents for just uploading it to the MLS. Wow. Okay. So obviously this particular person has been screwed over by agents before, and they have a very used car salesman mentality towards our profession, and it's super unfortunate. So number one, I would want to talk to that client and find out, what happened? What happened in the past? Because I will agree with you. There are plenty of bad agents out there. Now, let me go over my numbers and my stats to tell you what kind of agent I am. I've already told you about my brand. You've got me here because of my brand, the way that I've spoken to you on the phone. Let me show you how I can incorporate my commissions so it effectively doesn't cost you anything. Now, I know it sounds strange, but you're already going to pay a commission at the 2.5%. So that's already out the window. That's already done. So you've already mentally given up that money. here's the problem. Anybody that comes in here to make an offer on your property, more than likely is going to have an agent. They're more than likely going to know the contract in, out, backwards, sideways, every single way, and they're going to be able to do things and have you pay for things because you don't know the contract. Because I will tell you, it is not that simple. There are things in there that they can get you with one little checkbox that you don't even know to look for. Do you know what Section 14 is? Do you know what government standard items that you have to pay for? Well, no, but I can just look it up. No, that's why you hire somebody like me. So how can I effectively have my commission paid for by this transaction? If I list your property for $999, $1 million bucks, let's call it, which is what you have it listed for now, and I get you multiple offers for $1,025,000, I've just paid for my commission. You've netted the same. Now, here's the other benefit that people don't talk about is I have E&O insurance, errors and omissions insurance. So let's say something went wrong with this property and you lied on a disclosure. Don't you think you're going to get sued? Now you're going to get sued, and they're going to take you to court for you personally because you're a for sale by owner. So now that you are sitting on $1 million cash because you owe nothing for your property, they have access to potentially sue you for your $1 million because you've lied on one of your disclosures. Now, I can't stop you from lying on your disclosure, but I have E&O insurance, and I have deductibles, and I have lawyers. So you can either A, go out and hire your own lawyer, spend cash, or I can pay my deductible and we can represent you and represent us as the brokerage and protect you in that way. And plus, not to mention 20 years experience. Don't you think I know all the tricks and tips or the tricks that these guys are doing out there to try and slide one over? Don't you think my negotiating skills, I mean, no offense, you're a doctor. How often do you have to negotiate? Never. This is what I do daily. So I would just reaffirm to that client and say, this is my profession. This is my business. This is what I do. So if you say, look, I get you $1 million and you got to pay me $25,000 to do it, listen, that's what your property was worth. So, I'm not saying I'm going to work for free. I would never say I'm going to work for free. But the reality is I can get this out on so many different channels that they can't. They put it on Zillow, it might go to 7 different channels. I put it on the MLS, and then through our brokerage, not only do we go globally, but we go to Zillow, Trulia, Redfin. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. The MLS, are you going to pay for professional photography? Do you know if it costs $500, $1,000? You have no idea. You have no idea. So this is why you hire a professional. We get professional photography. We do the video walkthrough. Like I told you before, I spend on average $1,700 per listing. This is why you hire me. We don't do cell phone photos, okay? We take professional photography, professional video walkthroughs, everything. This is why you hire me. I will pay for myself, I promise. What else do you guys have? Anything else? I think that is going to wipe me out. No problem, man. Yeah, there you go. Something about leases. No, we already covered that one. Guys, thank you so much. I hope you found this valuable. Again, I've got the scripts, objections, rebuttals class every single week on Monday. Let me try and find it here. There we go. Every single Monday, it's $25 per session. You get this, 1 hour. We do them via Zoom call, so it's more of an interactive thing where I can hear your scripts, your objections. We can talk to each other. This was just kind of something I wanted to put out there for free, and really thanks to our new sponsor here at Restream.lo. I wanted to make sure that we got this out in the channels and we tried this thing out. I'm loving it so far. Make sure you check out the website, thinklikeanexecutive.com. And listen, every single week, starting on Mondays, I've got the 30-day agent bootcamp for $97. If you are a new agent and in this business under 5 years, you absolutely need to be in coaching. 100%. 100% need to be in coaching. You got to pay for coaching, and if it's not me, go get it from somebody. I'm telling you, because I'll give you an example. I grew up playing tennis. There's people that were self-taught at tennis and people like me that were trained by Nick Bollettieri over in Florida and stuff. The people that aren't trained and don't have coaches, have you ever seen their form? Somebody that plays golf, have you ever seen their form? They pick up bad habits and they don't know any better. There's the analogy right there. If you can't visualize that and realize that you need to be in coaching, and you can call me up and you can email me and you can text me, you can do whatever you want, but you go to thinklikeanexecutive.com. If you don't realize by now that you need to be in coaching, man, you're going to have a long road ahead of you. Imagine if I could shorten that time frame from 1 year to get your first listing to the next 45 days, 60 days. Imagine if I could, I'm not going to double your business because you don't have any business, but imagine if I could roadmap your career in the first 6 months and set you up for success, that by year 2 and 3, you're building your own team. Do you even think about that right now? So that's what coaching does for you. And I'm telling you, even if you're a top performer, you still need to be in coaching. It's accountability. That's what this coaching does for you. I'm going to hold a mirror to your face and ask you very, very simply, are you ready for the amount of success that you say that you're willing to have? Jale, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you so much. Winston, everybody over at Sync Brokerage, thank you. Everybody tuned in today. Twinkle, Jonathan, great seeing you. Clara, thank you so much. Guys, that's all I've got for you. We'll take you to the outro. We'll see you soon. Thank you.